It's part 2.
Dose?
The sequel,
The Squeakquel?
Chipwrecked.
Oh, God. We're part 2 of...
The history of DC.
And superhero movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is On the Rocks, a conversational podcast about movies. I'm Paul Danino Braun.
And I'm Dave, and let's continue where we left off.
Dave, I want to tell you
the
story.
Oh, yeah,
Here's
the
my
story. Yes.
Back in the early 2000s, there was a period of superhero movies where they all tried to be gritty and dark.
Yes.
And super serial.
Yes.
People brooded a lot of brooding.
Lots of brooding.
And that is what yielded Daredevil.
God.
We forgot about Daredevil.
We also forgot...
About Catwoman.
And we also forgot about...
Elektra.
And we also forgot about...
What the fuck else is there? Jesus Christ.
Ghost Rider. Made by the same guy who did Daredevil.
That explains a lot. Ghost Rider 2.
Wasn't it?
Fucking awesome.
See, I think we have to
Stupid as
rewatch.
hell.
We have to rewatch that because I don't think that's gonna hold up on that
It's
rewatch.
stupid as hell.
We
But
only
I love
love it.
saved by the right hand of God.
We only love it because of that. We only to be fair. It's Idris Elba, like
Yeah.
one of his first superhero movie roles.
Before he was Heimdall.
The Heimdall. Yeah, like there's an opening action scene and he disappears somehow. And
He flies off a fucking cliff.
yeah, he flies off a cliff, and later he comes back and he's like, I'm saved by the right hand of God. And then it hard cuts, a nice comedy cut, to him just looking bewildered in like a tree branch
On the side of a
cliff.
mountain.
Yeah.
All right. So, Daredevil was bad. Even the rated R
Yes.
cut, which was better, was bad. For many reasons.
Incredible reasons.
Yeah, it was just not good.
No.
You know what that movie needed? A spin-off. A spin-off that completely ignores the existence of the original movie and introduces magic and has no stakes.
It's also fucking boring. Like, I could watch paint dry and be more entertained.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. And it just adds, like Catwoman, to the stigma of female superheroes don't work.
Yeah. You know what I never understood about that argument? It's like those movies didn't work because they were bad. Because
Like, bad.
like when we get a bad superhero movie with a guy, we're like, oh, okay, we'll make another one.
Batman and Robin. Batman Forever.
But
Superman
when
3 and 4.
But for the longest time, when we got a bad female superhero movie, we're like,
Oh,
this
well,
is why
well,
we don't make these.
Yeah, women suck and we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then papers fly up for some
Yeah.
reason.
Although I do give Halle Berry a lot of credit for accepting her Razzie for Catwoman.
Good for her.
You know what? Like, she was doing an Eartha Kitt level thing. Like, she's funny. She's fine.
She's
fine.
alright.
The movie was bad.
Yes.
But one really good thing did come out of
All these?
Daredevil.
Okay.
Specifically Daredevil.
Okay.
It introduced a good friend, a good person to the superhero genre.
Oh, yes.
The actor who portrayed, I believe, was that supposed to be Foggy? Is that who he was playing?
I think it was, yeah.
Because I don't think they ever say his name.
I think
One,
they do. Yeah.
John Favreau.
Yes, who came back.
Shortly thereafter went on to direct and act in the first Iron Man. Now, that was a passion project for him.
Really?
He was trying to get that made, and he was very much involved with the audience. I think this is back in the MySpace
The
days.
audience?
Like people who liked Iron Man. Like, he was
Oh,
very vocal
okay.
with the fans. Like, he wanted this dialogue, and he fought tooth and nail to get Robert Downey Jr. in it, who at that point was most famous for being a fucking train wreck, being in prison,
Yes.
having substance abuse. Like the guy was not doing well.
Yeah.
That gamble, like that's one of those like things in history that like that legitimately changed the direction of the world.
Well, there was...
This one movie.
Yeah, and, well, to be fair to him,
Yeah.
there was another movie before that, gave him a good start. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is a great movie. Everybody should watch it. Go see it now at your local movie theater, even though it's not out.
Or you could also just watch Iron Man 3, or as I like to call it, Kiss Kiss Clang Clang.
Oh my god. No, it's not the same. But
It's close.
It's close, but it's not the same. But anyway, yes. This guy who is basically a dumpster fire. Let's get him to play this
Let's have
character
him
that
hinge on our franchise.
that nobody knows other than because the character itself from the comics is like
Tony Stark.
Okay.
He might be synonymous today.
Yes, today, yes. But then it was like, what the fuck is Iron Man?
Dude, you go back 15 years and you tell people, hey, they're going to release a Spider-Man movie and they're going to put Iron Man in the Spider-Man movie to help ground it and make sure it's good. People will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And then you get lobotomized.
And then a large Indian
I was going to make,
smothers you with a
There you
pillow
go.
and throws a water fountain through a window. Is it background to being Indian again?
Native American?
No, it was Native American, and then I think it's now American Indian.
All right.
I think it
We'll just
horseshoed
say, you know,
back.
let's just say Native American. Let's be safe. Let's ride the line. It is 4:00.
Listen, I will. We're
is another day.
stupid people. We just came here like you're Indians, and they're like, what?
What? Oh
This
my
isn't-
God, we're turning into a history podcast
Yeah,
now.
and it's like you're Indians forever, and it's like no, that's
No.
not here.
Let's murder you and take your land.
have this blanket. It has SARS.
You like SARS?
Yo,
turns
let's go pick up some bitches on the Trail of Beers. Am I right? What up, Jackson?
It turns out to be a South Park episode, and just everybody's just crying.
You know, we joke about it, but really, historically, we've not been cool to them. I'm glad that changed, right? Remember that oil pipeline? We treated them well.
Anyway,
Back to Iron Man.
and back to Iron Man, a character that no one could give less of a shit about. Like nobody knew that character besides like the hardcore people who were into Marvel. Who knew about that? I didn't know about Iron Man. Even back then, when I was like associated with
Yeah.
like comics,
I had the most tacit knowledge. I was like, he exists.
I guess
That's it. I mean, yeah, Tony Stark, I think is his name.
Marvel outside Hulk and Spider-Man, the only person that I knew was Captain America.
Yeah.
Briefly.
And Blade, but that was more because of the movies.
Yeah, just because of the movie.
And like, yeah, X-Men. You knew X-Men.
X-Men because of the movie.
Well, and the comic, not the comic,
The show.
the cartoon show,
The
which
cartoon
crossed over with the Spider-Man animated series.
I watched the Spider-Man one. I didn't watch the X-Men one.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, that's a fucking awesome theme song that they try to work into the movie, but it didn't really work, which kind of was lame. They had like a couple notes, but it ultimately like devolved into something else.
Yeah. Well,
If you look back at, especially the second one and the opening,
working in a pre-existing theme into a movie always works, right? Justice League.
wah, wah.
So, so yeah, you know, Iron Man was a huge gamble on so many different fronts, and I remember Jon Favreau was talking about the special effects because they were trying to decide if they were going to do a practical suit or a CGI suit, and it got to the point that the special effects team came to him. They're like, "What do you think about this?" And they told him this is the CG suit, and he starts picking it apart, and it's like, "Oh, the reflection doesn't look real." Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, "You're sure?" He goes, "Yes." And they're like, "Okay, this is a picture of the practical suit." And it was at that moment they realized, okay, we're going digital because I clearly can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
So they fooled him. They fucking tricked him. It's hilarious.
Nice. But they did a mix though. They had
Yeah, there were practical elements.
yeah, and they look great. Everything fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Um,
And this preceded Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, right?
yes, this was the first one.
Yeah.
Then it was
Because they were
Incredible.
real close together, weren't they? Like,
It was a year apart.
yeah.
It was a year apart. Those two were the beginning.
Yeah.
That was the beginning. The Iron Man was like the one that they hinged off of, and it made people stay and watch the credits
Yeah, because
because it
There
was like
was-
this special little thing. Like there was something at the end.
this is before
There
the
was something-
phrase post-credit scene
Yeah.
even existed.
There was stuff, but
And it
not
wasn't
like
just,
this.
It wasn't just something. It was Samuel fucking Jackson.
It was
That's
setting.
who.
It was setting up the future for
Which
everything
is crazy
else to
because
come.
who even fucking released the first Iron Man and the first
It's Paramount.
yeah and the first Hulk was Universal.
Universal.
So like that's kind of crazy for them to like be working together.
Yeah, and it was only after because Incredible Hulk didn't do good.
No,
It did not.
No.
It didn't even. It wasn't even better than the Ang Lee one,
no,
which is sad because
it's a better movie.
it's a better
By
movie.
Far,
It takes a nosedive as it goes on. Like it slowly.
you know what?
Descends.
That almost might be better though because if it was a better movie, it might have been harder to swallow the pill of Mark Ruffalo replacing Edward Norton.
Yeah.
People don't even think about Edward Norton when they think about the Hulk. Like
Exactly.
Ruffalo has so supplanted him in like the zeitgeist. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Seamless, really, how he did that.
Like, the beginning of that movie is really good. Like, he's trying to control his rage. He's off the radar. It just feels... It's grounded in a
Yeah.
very weird way.
And my favorite thing on a conceptual level of that movie is it takes the Hulk from being this uncontrollable, like, shit, like, I am just a walking disaster, to his realization of, like, maybe I can use this.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just vaguely aim this at something that's bad, and it's the first time that Hulk is treated like I could be a hero. I
Yeah.
could be more than just like the curse, the burden. Like maybe I could be useful.
Yeah. It's just sad that it kind of falls apart. And
Yeah, but we do have one really great thing that comes out of that movie: the big head villain. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, nothing.
Thunderbolt fucking Ross, man.
yeah.
He's
He comes
the-
back way later, though.
Yes, but he's the only thing to come back.
I mean, they do reference the Incredible Hulk with the subway. He talks about, like, oh, you don't want to get me in the subway or something, like in an enclosed space that didn't work before, or some other couple of references.
They reference in the first season of Daredevil one of the articles behind
Yes, that's what it was.
Harlem.
Yes.
The incident at Harlem. 'Cause
Yes.
he fucking levels Harlem.
Yes.
In that movie.
So those were the two that were really big,
Yeah.
especially Iron Man, that kicked off this whole shared
Crazy
universe thing.
experiment. And it, Marvel's certainly not the first person to try or first entity rather, to try a shared universe, but they are by far the most successful, and they're the first group to do it in a very long time.
Yes.
Universal, I would think, is probably the first, right? With the monster movies.
Yeah, way back when, definitely, yeah. And those were like B-movie, like whatever. But yeah, it was still like this shared universe. It was like, oh, it's the Wolfman, it's Frankenstein. They're all hanging out together, doing their thing, scaring the bejesus out of little kids.
And remember, folks, Wolfman's got nards. So we have Hulk comes out, and Hulk is the one that solidified, oh, these are going to intermingle because we have Tony Stark show up now.
And also...
And I don't think people knew that going in, that was going to be the case.
It was in the trailer.
They spoiled the post-credit scene in the trailer?
Well, it wasn't even a post-credit scene because it comes right after...
It's like a mid-roll.
Because it was a response. Because it's like, oh, we missed it at the end. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, we'll put it in this. And then it didn't really work, so they kind of went back to the post-credit scene again.
Yeah, they also did like mid-credit rolls too.
Well, now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the big thing. And then in between, well, after those, you have Thor, Captain America. Two superheroes that...
One is a much riskier thing to do.
I think they're both risky. You got a guy basically in a flag with weird ears going around like...
True, but the thing that can
Boy
work
Scouty
about,
kind of Superman.
The thing that can work about Captain America, especially the first one, I think is easier to do, is because it is structurally just a war movie.
Yeah.
It's really just like, it's a World War II movie. Like, you can ground it like that, and like, you see him using guns, you see him fucking killing people, because guess what?
He's
a war.
a soldier.
He's a soldier. That's what he does.
That's what he does.
You know?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite. That's
from the
my
director
top.
of Jurassic Park 3. And Rocket.
The Rocketeer.
The Rocketeer.
I watched that recently. I really enjoyed it. It's a fun, cute movie.
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah. It's a whimsical movie with Timothy Dalton deciding to go, should I keep my British accent or should I be a Nazi? I'm going to keep the British one, but then kind of slip into German a little bit.
That's fine. Half the time, fucking Nazis have British accents in war movies, and it doesn't make any sense.
And then what's her face with Jennifer Connelly?
Yeah, from Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yes, had to be called Jenny because this was her first on-screen role, and she was getting confused, apparently. That's the rumor. Her name was supposed to be Betty, but they changed it to Jenny. Did you not hear about this story? Again. Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know, you can't comprehend
her
it.
Character's name because she wasn't responding? But
Yes.
that's acting.
I think it's just a rumor, but like,
Okay.
it's something that's gotten around.
Wait a minute. She was in the Hulk as Betty.
Yes, and now she's in Spider-Man Homecoming as the voice of the suit.
Yes, but also her husband is Vision and Jarvis.
Oh shit! Really? In real life?
Wait, yeah, that was the whole joke about her being the voice of Peter Suit. Is that she's the wife of the actor who played Jarvis?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's cool. Anyway,
So back to
So-
Thor. Which
so,
I think
yeah,
Thor
Thor.
was a way bigger.
yeah, it's a
gamble,
hard
'cause now
sell.
you're starting to dabble in like magic, like they started very much with the first two movies, like Batman Begins. They took a page out of their book, like let's ground this in reality. We're gonna parse out the weird shit slowly but surely, because that's how people will learn to accept it.
Yeah.
You can't just dive bomb a bunch of weird shit on people
Yeah.
after establishing a world that maybe has one exception or is pretty grounded. That almost never works. Suicide Squad. So they did a good job.
Yeah,
Slowly building it up until Guardians, which was like full on cosmic.
Yeah. It's like we got away with Avengers. We can get away with this.
Yeah, we got away with cosmic. We can get away with magic.
Yes.
Vampires, still questioning.
They can get away with it. Anyway, they could get away with it.
So we have the slow build up. Every movie drip feeding more, building more, establishing characters, building relationships, and they have the through line of Coulson, of Samuel Jackson, and
Yes.
it's great.
We have the post-credit scenes that they kind of bridge the gaps a little bit. They tease the upcoming movie where they all have to band
Yeah.
together.
At the end of fucking Captain America, they have the first trailer for Avengers.
To
It
get
is
you-
in the movie,
To get you fucking hyped.
and
Damn.
Avengers was bad. No,
It worked.
and Avengers comes out in 2012, and the world ended. John Cusack was there. He drove a limo.
Yes.
Avengers is I think the turning point. You know, it was all theory up until Avengers, and Avengers solidified that a cinematic universe, a shared universe, can work.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, Avengers can't, there's not going to be an Avengers movie, blah, blah, blah. It's never going to work.
It was
you know.
unprecedented.
Yeah,
the,
it was-
the level of coordination, and it was starting with, was it with Thor, or was it with Captain America that Disney bought Marvel?
It was before Thor.
Okay, that is so integral to this because I don't think that we get.
Oh, wait,
this,
wait,
and this
Disney.
exists. Yeah,
I think it was after the Avengers.
after the event. Okay, but when did Marvel
Oh, Marvel?
become a studio?
It was in that middle period where it was Hulk just came out and then
Yeah.
Thor was going to
Yeah,
begin.
getting all the characters they could under one banner. It was like, okay, like this is a movie studio now. Like they are making the movies.
Yes.
We don't get to blame it on Fox or
Or
Sony
Univer-
for fucking it up.
Yeah.
It's them. They're doing it.
Yes.
This Kevin Feige, whatever his name is, this guy no one's heard of, he's running it. He's almost running the whole thing like you would run a TV show, which is kind of interesting. That's more the structure, but sure, let's see how this works out.
And can we just put emphasis on this? There's someone heading this project.
is-
Someone who,
A singular person with a vision.
yes.
Who is the ultimate, he's the end. The buck stops with him.
And depending on what you say, it's like, oh, it's formula, it's like good marketing, like whatever.
Yeah.
Some cynical
There's
aspect.
cohesion.
There's something there to keep everything together. There's
Yeah.
a leader. There's a head.
Yeah.
There's like, okay, this guy is controlling all these aspects.
And listen, sometimes it's gonna end with maybe someone not getting to direct a movie that you wanted. Sometimes you're gonna lose that Edgar Wright because this person, they want to be in control.
Or you're gonna just lose kind of like a Doctor Strange, where it's just kind of bland, but it's still kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool, and it's bringing in magic and stuff like that. But it's
Yeah.
kind of stuff like that. So it's not perfect, but it's better than what happened after The Dark Knight Rises. So
Yeah.
let's talk about
So
that.
I personally love The Dark Knight Rises, and I understand why some people were a little down on the film. However, I think with hindsight, we can all look back and be like, yeah, that was nowhere near as rough as some people might have thought because of what followed. So DC, they're looking at Marvel, and Avengers is one of the highest grossing movies ever made.
Yes.
It out fucking box office fucking Dark Knight. Like whoa, a lot
Yeah.
of money. DC, they're getting like, I want to get in on this. How do we get a piece of that pie? So what lessons can we take from Marvel? Slowly build up over time. You have to invest time and effort. We have to get auteur directors. We have to get like,
Did we just skip Dark Knight Rises?
I mean, what else is there to say about it? I think it puts a very nice ending on the franchise. It's the only time I can think of where a superhero franchise has a definitive end. There is a complete arc. It is finished, and it is a nice little box. It's a nice little thing you can have. You can always go back to the fucking Dark Knight series, and you have the 3 movies, and it's awesome, and I like it.
I think it was like a huge misstep, and I feel like they just totally fucked themselves over. Like they had everything set up for a good continuation, and they completely just was like they fumbled the ball at the goal line, and just like
What do you mean by continuation?
Batman's not Batman. Like for 8 years, he's only been Batman for like a year and a half.
In total, yeah.
In total, and then it's like 8 years, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna come back now, and I'm gonna put a brace on my leg, which fucking bothers me. Apparently, he's got super leg now because he could break through a brick fucking wall with a brace on, even though that's still his real heel. I don't understand it. That's a little bit. It's a little bit of why I hate it. Anyway,
it's a little nitpicky, but okay.
No, it's completely. That's what the movie is, though. It's like we're gonna put these things around our hero and make it look nice, but it's actually nothing at all. It's just stupid in the end, if you really take a look at it.
I strongly disagree with you, Dave.
He was great. Bane, Tom Hardy as Bane was great. The way that they handled the twist with what's-her-face, the way they handled Catwoman, Anne Hathaway, who she was amazing, but they didn't really handle her all that well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character was just kind of like, whatever. Everything just felt like, we're tired, we want this to end, how can we have it just be finished? And I felt like it was forced and not thought out.
Respectfully disagree.
All right. Damn.
I think that a lot of the reason people don't like it is it doesn't follow what you would necessarily expect based on Batman's previous incarnations to do.
Well, no, the way they set it up in The Dark Knight, like, okay, he's going to continue. It's going to be outside the law, and now he's got to fight gangsters along with evading the cops, and he's got really no help in between.
Yeah.
I felt like Bane would be like this, like, they present him like this underground force that's building up, stuff like that. And Batman's trying to warn everybody, but it's like, we can't help you. We can't do this. And then it just all kind of culminates, which it's what it was trying to do, but it didn't really do that. It was just a muddled mess.
See, I looked at it more as the ultimate outcome of The Dark Knight was they won. Like, yeah, there's always going to be petty street crime, but that doesn't necessitate Batman. Like, they passed the Dent Act shortly thereafter. They were able to really fuck up, like, organized crime, and, like, things genuinely got better in Gotham, and it didn't need Batman. In between losing Rachel and now being marked as, like, as a killer, he just stepped away. He's like, I'm not needed right now. It's fine. Like, things are okay. It already fucked up my life a whole bunch. Like, I'm just going to step away and just fuck off. Like, I'm depressed, I'm sad, whatever. There's no need for me. And it's not until that, bad shit does start to bubble back up. And, like, you find out that the piece was built on a lie. And it's like, ooh, like, maybe you didn't do the right thing, Batman. Like, that might have not been, like, the right call to make. And it's like, I also just like that it crosses a line that no Batman movie ever has, where, like, it gets full on, like, No Man's Land, like, apocalyptic at the end. Like, the stakes are put at a point that they never have been before. Like, a long-term, like...
I felt like they could have done that better. The passage of time just felt, like, way too, like, abrupt. Like, it felt like it was all taking place at the same time. I think that was the problem with it. The editing, that passage of time just completely screwed up everything. Because I like that aspect. I like the scene where he's fighting Bane in the sewer and he just gets fucking...
No music.
Yeah, just...
That scene is fucking amazing.
just gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, despite what I think and your opinions, like there's a lot of split in between for that movie. But you can definitely say that this marked
The end.
the end.
Yeah, and it was a definitive end. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like there was no open. Like,
You
no.
you were right. It
Bruce
has
Wayne is done,
yeah. It has this. It is a nice little bow, regardless of what
Yeah.
you think.
and
Of the
with
movie.
the exception of like Logan, I can't think of another thing that has such a set trajectory where it's like this is a complete story now.
We don't
And
have.
you
There's
can-
nothing more after it. It's over.
Yeah, that's a nice. It's just a nice sense of closure. Even if you aren't necessarily on board with everything that happens, you at least have the closure.
But now, with everything going on, we have a shared universe now.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue, this comes out, and it built up between, what, 6 years?
Yeah. So like I was saying, what lessons do we learn? Okay. Establish characters, build up over time. We have to be willing to be patient.
Yes.
We can't think about beating them to the punch. And then let's look back at our own movies. What was really successful? Okay, Superman Returns. It was a lighter movie. It wasn't as successful.
But people still like Superman.
Yeah, but Dark Knight. Why? It was clearly successful
Because of
it was
its dark. Yeah.
All right. Do we really want to wait? Nah, we're not going to wait. Do we want to build it up over time? No, we're not going to do that. Are we going to do a bunch of standalone movies? Let's do like one. We'll do one. We'll do one standalone movie, and then we'll have everyone in the next one. So wait, didn't we just establish that these are all the things that you should have learned? It seems like you're just taking the wrong lesson from one movie, and then like you're just going to jump into it.
Because
Man of Steel,
Man of Steel,
which I actually don't hate.
it's, from that point on, it's catch-up.
Yeah. And you can
We're-
tell that they're playing catch up.
We have to...
Although, to be fair, we didn't know with the first Man of Steel that it was going to go in that direction.
No.
It was very much sold as this is Superman, it's the new Superman.
This is... Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where, getting back to what we were talking about in the first part, where it's like, oh, like he only punches and lifts things and goes through walls, but he has ice breath and he's got laser beams and stuff like that, super speed, weird powers.
Yeah.
They really don't do anything with that. It's more just punching and kicking and...
Yeah. And I'm willing
Blowing
to
up and-
forgive that a little bit because it is an origin story. A little bit. Just a little bit. And
but even they don't do it in the next one.
no, they don't do it until Justice League, which is...
Sad.
So, they did some interesting things. They brought on Zack Snyder to direct.
Which you like. I don't hold it against you,
Yeah.
but I kind of hold it against you.
That's fine. Listen, I like Zack Snyder as a director. Is he perfect? No. Sucker Punch is a mess. But I think his strength is in adapting things. I think that he's a very good visual director. You need to rein him in with somebody who can handle the story side of things. He's not a very articulate person if you see him in interviews. But you look at 300, get someone to handle the story. This guy can nail the visuals. Same thing with Dawn of the Dead. Great visuals, like the zombie flood, cool stuff. And Watchmen, get someone to handle the story. He adapts the visuals. He's got his own sense of style. But I think one of the failings of bringing him on to do this and to be this pseudo godfather of this franchise was they didn't stop and think, okay, we're getting the guy who did Watchmen. What is Watchmen? Watchmen is a breakdown and an analysis of all of these archetypes of superheroes. And there are one-to-one comparisons in Watchmen for every fucking character in the DC universe. You have your Superman character. You have your Batman character. So we're essentially asking this director who already did the breakdown of these characters to step backwards and now do the actual versions. And in my mind, it is a step backwards. It's a weird task to ask of someone.
Now, see, my problem with the movie, as Kristen put it, is my problem with the movie. The problem with him is his philosophy on life. He loves Ayn Rand. Did you?
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to apply that philosophy to Superman does not work. at all. It's a fun Elseworlds type of thing. Red Sun, where
Yeah.
he, instead of landing in Kansas, he lands in Soviet Russia.
Yeah.
And he becomes like, he wants to dominate the world, and I think it's Batman and Wonder Woman have to stop him or something like that.
Yeah.
Fun, whatever. It's always fun to have like the Boy Scout leader to be the communist, fascist asshole.
Now, we are definitely going to need to put a pin in this because there is something a lot worse than that.
But that's what I don't like
Yeah.
about what he applied. He
And
applied that
is
to
very valid criticism. I do not think Man of Steel is anywhere near perfect. I think it has some things that I really appreciate, but there is also one very important thing that I would change that I think would put the end of the movie in a very different context that would have made it more palatable to a lot of people.
So the Clark, not the. I was gonna say because we talk about it a lot.
Yes.
You're gonna okay. You take it away if we're on the same page about
Okay.
the '79 Superman and what happens early on in his childhood, as opposed to what we're trying to do in Man of Steel, but they completely interpret it in the wrong way.
that one scene where this isn't what I was going to necessarily talk about. But,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, this it's connected. It's connected to my issue.
Okay.
So there's the scene where the dad is like, oh, the son's like, oh, what? Should I just let everyone die? And the father says,
Yes.
to be fair, he says, I don't know, maybe. And let me just put this in context. He is somebody who is more concerned with the safety of his son, and he views his son being exposed as something that could ruin his life and kill him.
Okay, but he tells him conflicting
Conflicting
things.
stuff.
Yes.
He does.
He says, you were meant for something more, but don't do anything.
But don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
Yeah. But you could almost kind of read into that as like, he's not the perfect father figure. Like, the folly of man, like, Superman is supposed to be better than us. And if you look at Superman's actual dad, he's like,
He's still telling him conflicting things too.
is he though?
You could save them all.
See, that is the one thing I would change. If I could change anything in the Man of Steel movie, I would alter that line of dialogue to have Jor-El tell him, you can't save everyone.
Yes.
Because the reality is Superman's fucking impervious. And the only real way to generate conflict with him is to have him save others.
Yes.
He will never be in danger.
Yeah.
But if it's like, you played Mass Effect games?
Yeah.
So it reminds me of one of the first trailers for the original Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's this great trailer. It's a tone piece. There's almost no dialogue, like from the characters in it.
Yeah.
But it's a distress signal. It's coming from a planet, and you hear these people, and they're screaming for help. And it slowly pans out, and you see Commander Shepard there, and he's staring at it, and he's got this look on his face like, oh God, like, what am I going to do? And then it pans out, and you see there are multiple requests for help all over.
Yeah.
And, like, one of the crew members goes to, like, say something, another one's like, no, just do it. And, like, he closes the message, and they go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that, there's many choices ahead. None of them are going to be easy. And that's where you get the fucking drama of, like, you can't save everyone. And then the movie ending happens, and, like, 30,000 people get killed, which is confirmed by Zack Snyder.
This 9/11 like times 1,000.
Yes.
Times 11.
Which is a number. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's too many 9/11s.
Yes.
Um,
It's 9
but
times
that
11.
puts the ending in a context of like, oh, okay, like I get the drama. Like you can't save everyone. He's trying, but he's one person at the end of the day. He can't save everyone. He's not a god. That I think helps the ending.
But they boil it down to, oh God, Zod's gonna kill this family of 4 when he's already killed multiple thousands of people. But somehow these 4 people, because they have kids and they're white, they're fine. There's so much. I'm sorry.
Gonna have to disagree with
What-
you.
Like,
Okay, so let's say hypothetical situation. On the Rocks podcast, the #1 hypothetical Hitler podcast. You walk into a room, Hitler's there. Somehow he ain't dead, and he's got
making
like
pancakes.
he's not making pancakes. He's holding an AK-47. He's got pointed at a whole family. Do you not stop him because, he
Well,
already killed like 6 million Jews?
No, I'm not.
Who cares if he kills this extra couple people? It's a drop in the bucket.
No, I'm not saying.
But that's pretty analogous to what you just said.
No.
Is it though?
He's still going to stop him. We know that he's going to stop him. You're saying it's like, oh, should I not stop him from, like...
I don't think it was as simple as it's the family there.
Like,
he
no,
flat out
the tension is like, oh shit, he's going to kill these people.
I don't know if it's so much that, because if you listen to what he's saying, I will make it my mission. I will kill every person on this planet, and I will never stop, and you will never stop me. As long as there's breath in my lungs, I will keep trying to kill everyone on this planet. Yes, I mean, is it localized in that moment to those group of people? Yes,
Because it's trying to make you feel something with everything else. It's like, oh, whatever. It's just collateral damage in the background, even though it's so much in the foreground. It just comes down to this point where it's like, okay, but the mass destruction what's happened before is like, it's nothing compared to it seems we have to end it somewhere, and this is it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually am probably the only person that likes it when Superman kills Zod, which he did in the original films.
Oh, I didn't really. That didn't bother me. I didn't care about
But yeah, no, I like it that he kills him because it's honestly almost, yes, it's a murder, but it's also a sacrifice.
But he feels, well, no, because he kills all the babies of Krypton.
Yeah, but that's an abortion. They're unborn. It's fine.
Yeah, but after he kills Zod, it's like, oh, it's over. Like, that was the last of my race. Like, I'll always be alone. And then he gets a hug, and
then he kisses in the middle of
of all this destruction, and it's like, come the fuck on. That's insulting.
That shouldn't have been there. Like I said, not perfect.
But it also comes down to this whole like sacrifice and like you can't save everyone type of thing. They do it terribly wrong, especially when it comes down to Pa Kent. What's his name? Is not Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Like they do it great in the 79 version where it's like they show Superman, he's got super speed, he can jump, super high, and he's super strength. His surrogate dad has a heart attack and he can't do anything about it.
Yeah. It's almost like it needs the equivalent of that amazing sequence in I can't believe I'm about to make this comparison.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
But
what are you gonna
Groundhog's
say?
Day.
Oh god.
No, but is that not
with
really good, very dramatic, sad sequence where it's like
the old man,
It shows, oh god, I am not a god. Like no matter what he does, he cannot save this person.
Yeah,
no matter how many times he tries.
I can bring him to the diner. He can have soup
meal,
or whatever.
Take him to a doctor.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah.
That's his time.
Yeah. So.
And I just got chills because of that. Just saying that
because it's so simple.
And they completely fuck it up. In the Man of Steel, it's like, oh, don't save me, son, with the fucking hurricane or whatever. It's like you could have easily just done.
Yeah. It
destroys that whole thing. Like everything going further, it's like, well, that's it then. It's like, it's something so easily solved, but apparently we have to make it more complicated and more convoluted than it actually is. Like it's so simple, but no, we gotta make it, it's gotta be intellectual, quotation marks, which comes back later.
They also did bring Nolan on, so like there was going to be some. I mean, it is basically.
But he's executive producer, and we found out later that
Goyer also is the writer, and he, whatever. She-Hulk's a slut. Remember that nice, very well thought out quote of his.
In the fucking commentary for Blade, he admitted that he has trouble writing plot, dialogue. And I forgot something else. And it's like, those are the three key elements.
That's what writing is.
That's what the fucking script is. So what do you do? You fuck, you hack, fuck, I hate him.
On a lighter note. You want a really quick fun aside about Blade 3? Really quick fun side story?
All right.
This will cheer everyone up because we're getting into some dark territory. So, a lot of people are annoyed by Ryan Reynolds' performance in Blade 3.
Okay.
It is actually one of my favorite things ever because I know the story behind it. So, Wesley Snipes was a real motherfucker on that movie, and he only showed up for his close-ups, and that's it. He wouldn't sit for other people's angles, and anytime it wasn't a close-up, it was a stand-in. So, Ryan Reynolds took it as his personal mission to fuck with Wesley Snipes as much as possible, and you can watch this on the DVD. Anytime Ryan Reynolds had a line, he would do like 70 takes of improv shit that was as ridiculous as he could make up because he knew no matter what he said, it would cut back to fucking Wesley Snipes' stern reaction. So he literally would it just got to the point where it's like, I guess that was the only way to keep himself sane, which is just fuck with Wesley Snipes the whole time. It was beautiful. So your big issue with Zack Snyder being at the helm of these movies is that it establishes a tone that you don't like. It's very dark, and you just don't think it's appropriate for the character.
It doesn't, yeah.
That's totally fine. Very valid. But like I said, there's something much worse than that, and we will touch upon that later. We're going to put a pin in that.
Oh, okay.
We're going to put a pin in that.
So
I think you're going to ultimately agree with me as to what's worse.
All right.
So we now jump forward to Comic-Con, and they let it loose that Batman's going to be in the next movie. And you're like, whoa!
Yeah, they have...
Old man Batman, no origin story. Like, cool.
Yeah, they lead it up. They read from The Dark Knight Returns, right?
Yes. It was the excerpt with his boot on his fucking neck.
Yep.
You'll know I'm the one who beat you. It's awesome. I get chills still from that announcement because it is perfect.
It's pretty good.
Now, the movie. I don't hate Batman v Superman.
Okay, so this is what really led me to hate
and I understand
everything now.
Because Batman v Superman doubled down on all of the elements that you didn't like from Man of Steel.
Yes.
It went darker.
Yes.
Like substantially darker. But it also, I think, had a couple self-aware things that it worked on. I think that a lot of the plot of Batman v Superman was altered because of the reception and the backlash of the ending of Man of Steel, which is really cool. I mean,
not
we know.
think.
It was.
We know now.
But I kind of really appreciate that. I think it's cool. It's like there are consequences for what happened. And on a technical level, I think it's a very well-made movie. I think the opening...
Oh, I don't think so at all.
I think there are some scenes that are fucking amazing. Like, on a technical level, like, well shot. Like,
I think out of context...
yeah,
I remember seeing some of the trailers. One of them was an extended scene of the fight scene towards the end of the movie, which I was like, this is pretty cool. This has got me excited. And then 2 hours and 20 minutes of the movie goes by, and then we finally get that. And at that point, it's like, oh.
Yeah. So, So I love the opening. I love the way they briefly establish Batman. I love the fucking opening.
You like how they killed Jimmy Olsen?
Who gives a shit?
But it's like, there's a point where it's like, oh, Superman's going to save him. No. He only cares about that pussy.
Well, you know. But I was going to say, I love seeing the ending sequence of Man of Steel from the perspective of Batman, and I think that shows Batman
cool.
in a very positive light in the sense that it's like, yeah, he might be old and grizzled, but even when he doesn't have the suit on, he's fucking Batman. He's the only one running into the shit while everyone's running away, and he's only concerned with saving people.
Gives him a valid reason.
It also gives him a very valid reason to fucking hate and not trust this guy. He's got a very absolutist perspective. It's his concept of Superman is the same concept that some people succinct to in terms of nuclear war. Even a 1% chance is unacceptable.
Yeah. And I really liked Ben Affleck as Batman in this.
Me too. I think he did a very good job as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. I think he's a very balanced...
Yeah.
You know, like, I think he was good. I think he sold the old man pissed off, been doing this shit for 20 fucking years. My friends are dead, and I'm just angry.
Yeah.
And people, they bemoan how violent he is, but I think it works for the character. I think it works for where he's supposed to be.
Oh,
he's
I hate that.
Not the idealistic young version. And let's be honest, he doesn't kill any more or less than any of the other Batmen do.
But we don't establish that from early on. Like you said, where we have these characters, We see them grow. We see them change.
Yes.
We're just thrown into this, and we're supposed to know because we know Batman from all these decades.
Also, Aquaman and Wonder Woman are here. Also, Flash and Cyborg. It's like, guys, slow your roll. You're doing this all wrong.
Especially towards
doing this
the end.
all fucking wrong. Like
The whole Doomsday thing, it's just...
mess. Total mess.
It falls the fuck apart at that third act. Maybe like a little bit before the third act starts. It all falls apart.
Yeah, I'm torn because it's almost like a Frankenstein. There are some sequences and scenes in Batman v Superman that are really good. That warehouse fight scene with Batman is fucking awesome.
If you showed it to me out of context,
I know.
it's great. In context of the movie, it's not. And that's the failure of the movie. It's like you have these cool kind of the dream sequence thing.
Yeah, the nightmare,
but maybe it's not because we see Flash.
Yeah.
I mean,
demons.
It's kind of cool, but it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's strange to describe.
It is. Yeah.
Also, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, that was a weird choice.
Yes.
The movie doubled down on the elements that you don't like. I understand that. It's got some problems, but I think it has some really great sequences in it. Now, we jump to the first movie in the DCEU, not directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Up until this point, we have established this is a realistic world with one exception so far. Superman exists.
Yeah.
That's your miracle exception.
Yes.
Now they drip feed. Wonder Woman's a thing, and there's a couple other meta-human characters. We're willing to accept that.
Cyborg, Aquaman, Flash.
Now they totally fucking jump the shark with Suicide Squad because it goes off the fucking rails.
That was directly after
Man of Steel.
Directly after Man of Steel. No, directly after.
I'm sorry,
Batman Superman, which was something we should say again. Something that everybody was waiting for a very long time. Again, teased. Everybody wants to see the two iconic superheroes together on screen, fighting each other or not, together.
And this is also, Suicide Squad is the first one not to be directed by Zack Snyder, and is the first one to be more or less universally panned.
Yes.
There's a couple fanboy idiots that fucking love it, like Angry Joe and people like that, but it's not a good movie.
It's a response to Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously.
Yeah.
Based on the soundtrack alone, but also the audience. What do you call that again? Like before they show it, I forgot the name.
So here's what I think: Suicide Squad is one of the most interesting and saddest stories, because if you watch the original trailer, that is not the movie we got.
It's not colorful,
but
it's not neon.
That's a movie I would have, I think, enjoyed more. If it stuck to its guns and stuck with the thing that it established, would it have been good? I don't know. I can pretty much guarantee it would have been better than what we got.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. When you conceive a movie, you have David Ayer. The guy had a vision, very specific vision that he was very vocal about.
He's an auteur.
Yeah. And he made that movie. He made a dark, serious, gritty movie that fit with the tone of everything else.
Then they showed it to audiences, and they're like, "Why isn't it funny?"
Yeah. Well, this wasn't shot to be. What do you mean? Make it funny. Make it colorful.
Why isn't it like Guardians of the Galaxy?
Can you put Queen in it?
It's like, this is
not what we. It's just not. That's not the movie we made.
It's different.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy exists. You can go see that, but this isn't what this is.
And then Warner Brothers probably jumped on that, and it's like, well, this isn't going to be marketable.
Get
reshoots.
If you watch the trailers in the order they were released, they each get more
crazy,
putrid, and colorful and ridiculous.
Yes.
By the time that movie comes out, with the level of reshoots, recutting, I mean, it was cut. There are 3 cuts of the movie. There's an original cut. There's a cut by the trailer company that made the trailer.
Yeah.
And then there's the cut that we got, which is a hybrid between the two. What the fuck?
It was a gigantic shit show.
Total fucking mess. They cut 90% of Jared Leto's. This movie's such a mess. If you take Jared Leto's Joker, which I don't like, but if you take him and you completely excise him out of the movie,
nothing changes.
Nothing changes. What?
Like one scene. One scene, maybe.
Her leaving and then immediately fucking coming back? They
all meet the helicopter does come up with them all on the building. That's the only thing, but it's easily like, okay,
a
we
tentacle
can,
hits it.
or we could write around it or something like that.
But it's just like, what the fuck? How did you fuck this up so bad? First off, if you wanted to do a Suicide Squad movie,
Redo Assault on Arkham.
yeah, or do it in like, oh, the Joker's doing this crazy thing. That's why we need Harley, because she's like our way in. Like,
Because it makes no sense that she's a part of this group.
yeah. Also, the movie's begging the question in the sense that like the plot is justified. The inciting incident is the thing that causes that, like the formation of the team. Her trying to form the team is the thing that causes the incident that requires the team. Like, you've created your own problem to solve whilst trying to solve a problem that didn't exist. In trying to solve a problem that didn't exist, you created a problem. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Also, the fact that all the supervillains, quotation marks again, that they put together is like, what if there's another Superman? These are all D-list, no powers, motherfuckers going up against Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah. They can't handle Batman, who has no powers.
How are they going to handle Superman?
Also, where's Batman and Wonder Woman and Flash? We established Flash exists. Where is he?
Yeah. We established Flash in the movie.
How is it that Jai Courtney, an actor that I do not like,
Nobody likes him.
playing a character I have never heard of,
His mother doesn't like him.
is the best thing in this fucking movie?
There's only one good part that I
He
like.
has the only good part.
Where
You're free to go. And he grabs a bunch of shit and just bolts. I was like, if he never comes back, that might be one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
Unfortunately, he comes back.
Well, unfortunately, because it makes no plot sense.
Yeah. Definitely see the animated movie, Assault on Arkham. It's so much
Even the
better.
editing, like, I don't get it. Like, I don't think that you could look me in the eyes and say Batman v Superman is a terrible film on technical, like in every way, in every conceivable way. There's no scenes that are shot well. There's no scenes that are edited well. There's no like sequences
There's no establishing shots.
All right.
There are no.
But
everything is close
we can
up.
both say that Suicide Squad, in every single facet, is terrible.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying. All right, whatever. We'll just agree to disagree. We gotta move on. But
Okay.
Yes, Suicide Squad was really that point because Batman and Superman had a big drop after its opening weekend,
and this is 3 for 3. This is the third strike for some people.
Yeah,
this would be your third strike.
Yeah, this was it for me because Suicide Squad did the same thing. It kind of held on for a while though because it was weird enough that people latched onto it for a while.
All the fucking Hot Topic edgelords had to go see it.
Exactly, and that's the only thing that kept it alive. I think it's going to be a cult classic. I can totally see it in like 10, 15 years being that cult movie.
What, like The Last Vampire on Earth or Partners?
No, like
a bad cult classic. Not like an Evil Dead where it's a good movie, but like, this is so ridiculous, it's so stupid. Like,
I was going to say
like The Room.
Like a Big Trouble in Little China maybe, or maybe like, I wouldn't say like Reanimator, but it's like Reanimator's fucking good.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of level. Not quality level, but the level of like, I
have to say,
the atmosphere and all this stuff is.
I would definitively rewatch Suicide Squad over Justice League.
Okay.
I think Suicide Squad is worse as a film, but has way more entertainment value in how bad it is.
Okay, so that adds to the cult element.
So this is 3 strikes. 3 strikes for people. They're not doing a good job.
No.
They're really fucking up.
And the PR for all of this stuff, too, has made everybody worried.
Yeah. And while this is happening, this isn't happening in an echo chamber. Marvel has continued on and has continued to fucking crush it.
There's several movies that are kind of We talked about Doctor Strange.
But even the most Marvel movie
did a good job and was entertaining and
was successful.
Yeah, successful.
It hits all the important things that it needs to hit.
Yes. They follow the formula and they follow it fucking well.
Yeah.
Then Wonder Woman comes out. Now
thank God it was good.
I say, okay, I've rewatched it.
Yeah.
I feel like the only good thing about the entire movie is her.
Chris Pine. I'm kidding.
Well, he kind of factors in a little
Actually,
bit.
I do think he's really good.
He's really good. They work well together, but it's really on her, and she does a great fucking job selling the character.
She is genuinely good in the movie.
Selling the emotions, like, I want to be a superhero. Why is that such a bad thing to be? Like, we can have all this dark, gritty nonsense, but I still want to help these people.
To help.
Yes.
She is a god trying to be a hero, and that's cool. And that's usually what DC movies tend to be. Marvel is all about normal people rising to the occasion and becoming more, whereas DC is about these gods trying to be like us and trying to be good. They're two, usually, I mean, with the exception of Batman, it's two totally different approaches.
Yeah.
Neither one better than the other.
No.
Just usually how it works out. It's
because
fine.
it could work. It
They
can
both work.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, very well received, this one.
Yes. Upon rewatching it, I think it's just kind of like an okay movie. Like, it feels like
It might have also just been like that we were
desperate for something. And I think that was the case, because ultimately, if you rewatch it, it's just kind of like, if this came out in the 90s, I think it would have been, or like the early 2000s, well received, even better than all the other ones. But it's kind of like that early on stage, like, we just got it.
Yeah.
Where I feel like Marvel's already, it's again catch up.
Exactly. And
We've already done it.
It does a nice balance of gritty, dark stuff.
Yes.
Because, like, listen,
it's World War One.
It's bad. But there's hope. And hope is one of, like, the main themes. It's like, I believe that I can make a difference. I believe I can help these people. And I'm going to, like, oh, you tell me that I can't do this? The whole movie can be summed up by,
oh, you're a woman, you can't
phrases. No, these two phrases. Diana, no. And Diana screaming, Diana, yes! And then her just doing.
Yeah. But it's like
good levity, like good comedy, like nice fish out of water stuff. They don't go too hard on it.
No, they don't do,
Just tasteful amount. And that sequence, like that first time when she walks out on the battlefield, it's fucking badass.
And I wish there was more of that.
Yeah.
That's what it needed more of.
Like, I would say that in terms of super movies, that is one of the iconic scenes of, like, a hero. Like, that was really cool.
Yeah. And it's about fucking time that a woman gets to have something like that. Because you get, like, all the guys, like, they have the dramatic poses.
Yeah, Spider-Man's. And it's nice that it's not the typical, look at my ass, I'm going to look over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Like,
it's standing up and putting a shield in front of her face.
Yeah, and it's nice because, like, it could have so easily been a movie that just focused on the feminist aspect, but no, it chose to focus on the other in general. And it's not about, I'm a woman, I'm going to do better than all the men. It's like, no, like, we're going to work together. Like, I'm not going to do this alone. We're going to be a team. Everyone has their moment. Every culture has their moment. Like, did we land on Native American? Is that what we're saying?
We're going to say
Native American character acknowledges, yeah, listen, I don't have a side. He's like, I don't have a side anymore. It was taken from me because of him. And he points at fucking Chris Pine, and it's like, oh yeah. And then one character's like, I wanted to be an actor, but I'm the wrong color. It's like, it's nice that everyone gets a moment.
I really like the moment in...
I have one big problem, though.
Oh, well...
Sniper guy doesn't do anything.
No, he doesn't do anything. He just has the PTSD, and they acknowledge it, and that's fine. I like the moment where it's right after the fish out of water stuff, where she goes shopping or whatever. They go shopping together, and they're talking about what's the next course. Like, do we go after these people, or do we let everybody die? And they're like, whatever, fuck it. Just the piece is coming up. It's all gonna be fine. And Diana's like, you're just not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
you're
like cowards.
Like she
challenging
berates
them. Yeah,
and it's like, that's great, that's fantastic. And then the movie fucking falls apart in the third act, like all these fucking movies do.
It does become a bit of a CGI fest, but
it becomes the Zack Snyder, like Zack Snyder took control, like of the third. It's like, we gotta have more explosions and CGI bullshit, and it's like, we gotta have David Twells be muscle-bound Ares thing.
Lupin.
And also the fact, I'm so glad that they didn't do it, where it's like, there's no hope anymore. It's like, all you people are doomed. And it's like, no, please don't. No, please don't go that route as Superman.
Well, actually, it's funny.
And then they got to retroactively redo the fact that in Batman and Superman, she took like a huge break since World War One to not fight anymore after that.
And then they said a movie in the A's. So I think the one scene that I actually really, really like, and I think it's the scene that you were worried about because you were just talking about it. It's the scene where she kills, what's his face? The vampire from 30 Days a Night.
Yes.
His name's escaping me.
Oh, Danny Houston.
Yeah. And he also played Stryker. Look at him. Right when she kills him and she thinks she killed Ares, and for a second, I thought they were actually going to double down and not have Ares be in the movie and just have her realize, like, the very mature lesson of, yeah, listen, war's complicated. It's not really, like, a question of good guys and bad guys sometimes. Like, sometimes everyone is wrong and, you know, like, it's not just simple as, like, you kill one person and everything fucking ends. Like, I actually really liked that scene because I was like, wow, that's really mature for her to learn.
But then keep that and still have that hope where like Chris Pine is that
yeah,
like
but
bridge.
He's the hope. He's like, I have to keep trying. He's
yeah,
like,
and then she's like, this is what I've been doing, and I see it in him now, and we can stop the plane together and everything. And it's a contained, small story,
like Spider-Man: Homecoming,
or like in a way Captain America a little bit. You could totally see it.
Yes,
you could kind of see a comparison between the two.
Yes.
But they don't do that. They don't do that at all.
No, the CGI fest.
It's CGI dumb bullshit festival.
Tums Festival.
Yes,
Sorry.
I'm right. Yeah, it just completely undermines everything. That really destroyed the movie for me. But she was great. That's the takeaway from it. She worked. The movie, whatever. But she worked.
And Chris Pine died. We'll certainly not see him return because he died in like 1914.
14, yes. He's dead.
He's dead.
He's in the ground. Well, in the sky,
30-ish years old in 1914.
Yes.
How old would he be in 1984? Dead. He'd be dead.
Because he got blowed up.
Yes. Even if he survived,
he got blowed up and
he'd be dead. He's certainly not in the sequel. What the fuck? I'm so confused.
Anyway, we still got to talk about one last movie.
Now, remember when I said I wanted to put a pin in the tone of the movies because you didn't like that?
Yes.
Now, I acknowledge that the tone of these films is not for everyone. I really do. I understand when people don't like it, but in terms of a piece of art, I respect the fact that for the most part, with the exception of fucking Suicide Squad, they established the tone, they stuck with it, it was unpopular, but you know what? They at least had the balls to be like, we have a vision, we're going to commit to this, we're going to commit to this fully. It is not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. There are versions of this that exist that you can see that you will like. Not everything needs to be for everyone. And then Justice League came out, and they decided, fuck it, let's just try to copy Marvel. I think it is 1,000 times worse to abandon the only thing that had any level of artistic integrity. And I think this Justice League is just the fucking worst. It is such a train wreck because it tries to all of a sudden be something completely different. And it's like, I think if we saw the version of Justice League that was like just the Snyder cut, the darker one, would it be awesome? Maybe not. I can almost guarantee you it would have been better than what we got.
I think it would still be bland as shit. It was,
but I don't think it would be anywhere near as just awful as the fucking train wreck.
It's like eating oatmeal without any flavoring or brown sugar, anything.
It's just rolled oats.
It just rolled oats.
Water.
So to the point where they get the guy who made Avengers.
Yeah. That's like...
And these two people are drastically different in style and in tone.
Now, this has worked before. I mean, like, look at The Force Awakens. You got the guy who rebooted Star Trek and made it like a fun, kind of swashbuckly adventure type thing. Like, oh yeah, you know? He made a really great Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It can happen. People can jump ship and do the similar version. But the problem was, like, the movie was shot.
Most of it,
You done it.
Yeah.
You done made the movie.
There was just things that needed to be, a little polished. And apparently...
The color grade is absurd.
That wasn't enough.
the color grade is fucking ridiculous.
I've told this story to a bunch of people, and I love this story because it's just so absurd. I think
I don't know if I know this one.
you know this one. It's so famous. It's Henry Cavill's mustache.
Oh, everyone, I think, knows about. I mean, for God's sakes, they're making jokes about it in the Deadpool trailers. Like, people know about that.
And
It looks so bad. It just does.
he had the mustache for the new Mission Impossible.
And they wouldn't let him shave it.
Yes.
What petty dicks.
Yes. To the point where Warner Brothers spent $50 million. $50 million to CGI to digitally remove his mustache from his face.
And it looks awesome.
It looks
It looked
terrible.
really bad.
It looked really bad. And with all the close-ups and stuff like that, you can really notice the weird lip things going on.
It's just...
Also, the fact that Superman now feels like Superman is too little too late.
My big problem is the team is superfluous. The whole team, their plan is, let's get Superman. He'll fix everything. Like with the Avengers, and I hate to do this comparison stuff.
But it has you can't.
We don't live in an echo chamber. You have to. Every person in the Avengers, no one person is stronger than the other.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can make Hulk. It's maybe.
Yeah, but Iron Man beat Hulk once.
Exactly.
You can establish that every person has their own specific strengths and weaknesses. They complement each other. And when they go head to head, you don't know who's going to win. There's no definitive winner in any of that.
Take, for example, in the first Avengers, they're doing like the one-shot montage
Where
thing.
they're working together. He's hitting the shield with the hammer and spreading the lightning. Like, that is so great. It shows teamwork.
Do we get that in Justice League?
No.
Oh.
No. And a lot of the problem, one of the huge problems with Justice League, like I said, their whole plan is just get Superman. Once Superman shows up, he dwarfs all of their all of them together can't stop him.
Yeah.
They can't stop Superman fighting all together, which is weird because Batman just beat him like by himself one movie ago, but that's neither here nor there. Somebody brought up a great point. I forget the guy's name. He did a great video essay on one of the reasons that Justice League failed and something like Avengers worked. How does Iron Man fight? Like his suit.
Yeah, his suit.
Guns. Okay, how's Thor fight?
Hammer. With the hammer.
Like electricity. Captain America, he's got the shield.
He's got martial arts.
Black Widow's got the guns and the fighting. Like, everyone has a very specific style. They have their own. Some people are ranged attacks. Some people close quarters. Everyone's got their own thing.
Yeah.
Their own way of fighting. Every single person in Justice League is just brute force.
Brawlers.
They all fight the exact same way.
I saw the same thing, yes.
And it's fucking boring.
It is.
It's boring. It's lifeless. They're all fighting like...
And it goes back to what I was saying before with Superman.
There's also there's what, 3 fight scenes in Justice League? That's it.
They fight Superman.
Which lasts 10 seconds.
They fight, what's his face first before that? In the sewer?
I don't count the scene where none of the heroes are in it. With the one on
no, they have...
Themyscira.
No.
I don't count that as a fight scene. Cause
in the sewer. They have...
Yeah, they fight in the sewer. They fight at the end.
Fight Superman. Then they fight him in the end. Yeah, you're right.
So I don't count the Themyscira fight scene because none of the heroes are in it.
And also the same thing with the weird Aquaman scene under the water where they show up and it's like we have what's her name? Amber Heard for like a hot second and then she's gone. It's just
so confusing.
And
like there is some pretty good comedy put in there that I actually like. There are some genuinely funny lines.
I don't remember anything.
The one that stands out to me is like when Aquaman says like, "Oh man, strongest alone" or something, and Batman's like, "That's not the saying. That's actually that's the opposite of the saying. Like you're completely like he's just like so like perplexed at how dumb that was that he just said that. It kind of reminded me of the line from Infinity War. He's like, "It could kill you only if I die." He's like, "Yeah, that's what." What? Like he's just like that was just so stupid.
It's just more memorable. I don't know. Like
no, it was just the delivery was better, and we also we know Thor. We kind of know he's kind of a dumb guy a little bit.
Like
it's just bland. Those suits were not designed to be shown in that lighting, in that color grade. They just weren't. They look ridiculous.
This also made me hate Batman.
He's like a different person.
Yeah, he's totally different, and he's pretty inconsistent throughout the whole movie. Also, Wonder Woman, besides
She's
her,
bad. She's full on bad in the movie.
she has
Your guilt. Like, what the fuck was that?
she has one cool thing that they probably did in the reshoots was where she saves everybody in the beginning.
That's a cool scene.
That's a cool scene. And then everything else, I feel like Zack Snyder did it, where she's just a non-character, and it's just like, women, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's his attitude towards this character, who is a useful fighter, and, like...
She's the only one who can handle a fucking standalone movie, clearly.
Exactly, yeah.
Also,
Ezra Miller is just fucking extra. Like, Jesus Christ.
And I actually thought he was one of the sure bets. I was like, oh, he's going to be good. He's funny, he's charming. I think he'll
I'm
be...
shaking my head.
I know. I thought. It was like, you're clearly the Spider-Man analog. Red suit, fast talking, be quippy, be pop culture, go. And it's like...
He just got annoying. Like, I don't know if it's just him. I don't want it to be just the person.
I don't know. I don't
Holy
think it's
shit.
just him. I just think it was a poor choice. It's a shame because there are some kernels of things that could have been cool. Like, there's this one nice scene. It's like after they fought in the sewer, I think, and like Batman's like undressing, like he's taking his thing off, and you could just see he's just beat to shit. Like, he's just beat down. He's fucking bruised, and like I thought that could have been a cool scene where like they go into like, you can't do this forever, man. Like we're all like super powered. You're just a guy. Like, you need to fucking chill. And they don't really do anything. They don't really do anything with it.
No. It's what we always thought. Like, oh, this is going to be like the Avengers, stuff like that. Where it's like, it's all going to break down. It's not going to be good. It's just going to be total shit. That's what Justice League was.
Yeah.
Now, and everything we were worried about before culminated into that.
Yeah. And it's hard because it's like, I don't know whose fault Justice League is. I honestly want to say a lot of the blame goes to the studio.
There is no head. Like we talked about, where Kevin Feige or whatever.
The closest we got was Zack Snyder, but like between his daughter's suicide, him stepping away from the movie, him not having any of the amount of control that he used to have, they're like flat out 2 hours. That's what you get. It's like Batman v Superman was like almost 3 hours long. It's like, nope, you get 2 hours. It's like, but there's a lot more characters. 2 hours.
Because it was a steep drop.
Yeah. It's like...
Batman and Superman was a steep drop.
And I don't want to blame Joss Whedon because I think he just genuinely tried to help. But
it didn't mix. It doesn't mix.
It doesn't. It did not mesh well. You spent 2 very long movies establishing a very specific tone that not everybody was on board with, but you at least committed to it, and then like you just fucking abandoned it.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Like, I think we both in agreement that like Suicide Squad and Justice League are the worst ones by far.
Well, I have to say Batman v Superman was up there for me.
Yeah.
Justice League is a close fucking second, just because it's taking something that I grew up on.
Yeah.
Like Justice League the cartoon. Watch Justice League Unlimited. It is
all great.
20 times better than the shit.
Yeah, they fight Hitler. Remember they travel back in time?
They do. Yeah, that
was a weird thing that happened.
And that's awesome. Like, take those kind of risks. But anyway, it's something that we've always wanted. 70 or 80 years of a DC stranglehold of everything that we wanted.
And it ends in the last 10.
Yeah.
Just not even the last 5 years.
Yeah.
The last 5 years, and it totally goes to shit.
Yeah.
As much as I can say that, like,
what people
I appreciate
wanted.
Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman, I acknowledge, like, they are in bad shape, dude.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they're even making another Wonder Woman and an Aquaman movie, it's like, why? Like,
you're just prolonging the death.
Yeah, it's like, and this Batman movie, I was very excited. Ben Affleck, great director, great writer, super nice guy, like really nice person. I got to have a conversation with him once over Skype at a thing, It was cool. Genuinely a nerdy guy, loves like, and it's just almost like everything that happened just beat the joy out of him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to fucking do this. He's like, I'm gonna fuck off to the beach with my garish tattoo. Like now it's like, last I heard Matt Reeves was attached to do the Batman, but now it's questioning whether or not Ben Affleck's even gonna be in it. I heard rumblings that they might just fucking replace him at this point. They're doing 2 standalone Joker movies. Like what the fuck is DC even doing?
I don't know.
They don't know.
I thought he signed back on. I don't know.
It's a
And
shame.
Matt Reeves is great.
He is, and I would love to see a standalone Batman movie in the vein of what we saw in Batman v Superman. 'Cause he was cool. He was badass. Like if that warehouse fight scene could be expanded into a movie, I would be down.
Oh, so the one thing that I did like about Justice League, the one thing, it's the post-credit scene. It feels like
Them.
this is what
Yeah.
it should have been from the very beginning. This is great. It's just borderline camp
Yeah.
where it's not really Lex Luthor, but Lex Luthor on the yacht.
Oh, I never saw that.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't watch the League of Democrats. Like what? Deathstroke shows up, right?
Deathstroke broke out of jail.
That's how you know I didn't like it. I didn't even watch the post-credit scene.
And he gets taken full costume.
Yeah.
It's the same. I don't know what his name is, Joe something.
Yeah, Mengele.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. They
He
bring
looks
him.
like he looks cool. I've
He
seen the
looks
picture.
great. Yeah, and that's what I like. It's like it kind of set it up pretty cool. And he brings him on Lex Luthor, not Lex Luthor's yacht. He should just be called Lex Luthor. Fuck it. And Jesse Eisenberg is bald, and he's got like the green ascot or whatever, and he's
Yeah.
in like this leisure suit, and he's not being like
He's
you know
toned down.
He's toned down, and he's just like, we're gonna start a legion, and it's like, this is what it should have been, just borderline camp with somewhat seriousness.
Was that it? Was there any jokes?
There was no jokes.
They didn't make a quip about maybe we'll leave the Joker at home though. He's weird. You don't like him.
They don't say anything about that. They're just like, we're gonna put together our own team. I wish I can get on board, but I can't. That was a pun because he gets on the ship.
So so the future of
myself.
DC is a mess. I almost feel like they should blow everything up and just go back to doing standalone movies.
Well, so what?
Not worry about the cinematic universe because it doesn't benefit them at all.
Well, this is what I'm thinking for 84, Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, because why is he alive?
I think it's all like they're gonna do Flashpoint, but Wonder Woman. Flashpoint's basically like
the multiple versions.
they rewrite history, and that's what the New 52 came out. It was that. That's what I think Wonder Woman's going to be. It's going to be a complete rewrite from ground zeros. It's going to be like Days of Future Past. We're just going to fuck it. It's new now.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
And we're going to keep Wonder Woman. We're going to keep Gal Gadot, or whatever her name, you pronounce it. We're going to keep her because she works. And she does.
Yeah.
But Aquaman, I just feel like they're putting it out because they have to put it out.
It's got a good director behind it.
Yeah,
It's got James Wan.
he's the Fast and Furious, and he did the horror
I
movie.
was gonna say he's exclusively known for horror movies, but he's also like he took what was really one of the biggest shit shows in modern cinema, which was the new Fast and Furious movie, in the sense that Paul Walker fucking died like halfway into the movie,
And he turned it into a
and
fun...
he managed to salvage that into something that came out as a cohesive, well put together movie.
Yeah.
It's really quite impressive. It's unprecedented. And he's expressed that he always wanted to do action movies, which I find hilarious.
And I think he could pull it off.
Yeah.
And I'm excited on that front because he also came out in recent, not recent statements, but when they first started up, is like, no, it's not going to be like Batman v Superman. It's not going to be like Man of Steel. We're going to have fun. It's going to be actiony. It's going to be
And I love
cool
Jason
and fun.
Momoa, so I hope...
I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No, I don't think he can pull off. Like, I don't think he can be like a good leading man. If you're listening, I'm sorry. But
Yo, J-Mo, it's cool. I think you have what it takes. I want to see what you got.
oh god, don't invite him on
J-Mo, come on over. Come on over. It's fine.
because he could murder me. He will murder me.
I hope so. You guys can get into an axe fight. It'll be great.
I have that on my Netflix queue
Why?
because I'm like Tom at this point where it's like I just love action movies so much that I don't give a shit anymore. I'll watch whatever.
That's sad. Speaking of watching whatever, DC currently working on 2 completely separate Joker projects.
Yeah, the state that they're in
Is bad.
is
But
I can't even.
I
Process.
have an idea
Okay.
that I think could work, and it might make sense of this. So here's my idea. We got the Scorsese, right?
I was gonna say just hand it over to Marvel.
No. We have the Scorsese produced Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, right?
That's confirmed.
That's confirmed. Pretty
It's
much.
confirmed?
I mean,
Oh,
he's
fuck.
producing, and what's his face is directing it. The guy from The Hangover.
Really?
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Good work. Good work.
I okay. Whatever.
Here's
crazy
my idea.
things have happened.
I want we make that movie, have it be an origin story, whatever.
Okay.
Show him building the thing.
All right.
Don't show Batman. If you're gonna have Batman there, don't even have like an actor cast. Like just have him be like just this element in the background, very much like that comic where you follow his driver. You know, the Joker one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have him be like a force of nature in the background that just fucks shit up and like, but don't show him. Movie ends. He's the clown prince of crime. It's all good. That's how it ends. That's done. Its own movie. Now we have the one with Jared Leto. Open up.
How?
No, this could work.
This
work.
is
Hear me
a
out.
giant reach.
It opens
Okay,
up.
Mr. Fantastic. Go
It
ahead.
opens up.
Oh, we forgot to talk about those, by the way.
Oh no, we don't have to. Hit 4-stick.
All right, so it opens up.
It opens up with Ben Affleck's Batman looking for Jason Todd.
Okay.
Jason Todd's been kidnapped by the Joker,
All right.
and we get quick glimpses of him just getting the shit beat out of him.
All right.
We get there, and Jason Todd gets shot. We see the Joker shoot him, and we think he's dead. Batman fucking tackles the Joker, and it's Joaquin Phoenix. That Joker, they get into a scuffle. He dies. He turns around. Jared Leto is playing Robin as Jason Todd, and he loses his fucking mind and becomes the new Joker. That's how you do 2 of them. Bam!
Not gonna do that.
No, they're not going to do that, but it's literally the only way that it makes any kind of fucking sense.
It does make sense, and that's a pretty ballsy move.
I would have so much respect if they did that, even if they weren't good, to be like, you know what, you took a fucking risk.
Yeah.
But they won't do it.
No. Do you feel hopeful? Do you feel like they're just gonna? So say they're gonna do like what they did.
I do not feel hopeful about the
Well,
DCEU.
Well,
I really don't.
like what they did with Spider-Man. Not like selling the character off, but stopping it and kind of regrouping and doing something else with it.
The only reason that the new versions of Spider-Man worked is because Sony had the wherewithal to listen to Marvel and be like, okay, we'll partner up. We'll let you guys take creative control and help us build a character that works. Because at the end of the day, Marvel knows them best because Marvel owns them. These movies are being made by the people that own the characters.
Well,
There's
okay.
no reason that they should be fucking this up.
No, exactly, and they should know by now.
But
After
there's also like, who do you go to? They tried having somebody from the Marvel camp come over to fix it, and it didn't work. Granted, it was a patch job on a movie already made.
yeah,
It probably would have been different if they started from scratch, but like, I don't know how you fix it.
so you're just saying like just demolish it all. Like even if Aquaman or the new Wonder Woman
you-
ends with a cliffhanger or something like that,
Listen.
do you continue and be like, you know what? If they stick with this, maybe.
I say
maybe.
keep sticking with what works, keep sticking with what's good, and
Well,
burn the fucking rest down. Just do
That's everything. That's
but just do
literally-
standalone stories.
You literally have only the cast. You literally keep the cast.
like, listen, like if you do the Batman movie and it's good, awesome. But maybe like don't worry about it tying in.
So it comes down to like what that memo said.
Like almost do the opposite of what Marvel did, where it's like you had the team up movie first, but now have them all go on standalone adventures that in no fucking way tie in or depend on anything but this. That's it. No Infinity Stones, no post-credit scenes, just standalone Batman adventure.
Yeah.
Standalone Wonder Woman adventure.
Yeah.
One of the strengths of Wonder Woman is that it in no fucking way tried to tie in to anything else. Wonder
just-
Woman works as a completely standalone film.
It just bridges the gap left from Man of Steel just a little bit. Just
the framing
tiny
device. That's really it.
That's
it has the
it.
framing device,
That's
and that's
all
it.
it is. But you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blow it up. I say
It can survive getting blown up. They've done it before.
they can cut their losses with these two movies. Just release them. Do what you have to do. But if they sink and fail, another.
We're going back to Lex Luthor's boat.
No, we're going sinking water. Aquaman. I know he swims, but things sink anyway.
I hate you.
Ahoy.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Just if it does well, I guess you can keep going with it. But if they have like a steep drop off like they have for most of their movies, it's done. It's over. Like just stop. Keep Gal Gadot. If Ben Affleck wants to stay on, cool. If not, whatever. Recast new Superman. Recast new Flash.
Yeah.
If Jason Momoa wants to stay on and people like him, he kind of tested well in Justice League. Kinda. A lot of people did like him.
He was one of the least
Annoying?
cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like he was him and like Cyborg. Like Cyborg, I liked the guy who played him.
Oh,
Was
I
it
don't
right?
even.
Like he was fine. Like they
He's
added, but the
completely-
problem was like Cyborg himself looked terrible.
Yeah.
Like this is just discount Iron Man.
Yeah. Discount. I don't know. Discount Steel.
Oh God, we forgot about Steel.
We can forget about Steel. But yeah, I'm saying just done. Because I'm pretty much done with it now.
It's a really sad state that this conversation ended with, because it really is like this meteoric rise, and then it's 80 fucking years of going up, and then just crash and burn. It's like a fucking Kennedy was a pilot or something.
It only took 6 years.
6 years.
From 2012 to 2019, 7
To
years.
completely crash and burn.
Yeah. This huge, like I said,
Yeah. Marvel's-
stranglehold
yeah.
on pop culture.
Yeah.
These heroes that we grew up with,
Yeah.
that are ingrained in our memory, that people from a third world country can point out and say, that's Superman,
Yeah.
is now reduced to a pile of ash.
Yeah. And conversely, we have Marvel, who struggled for fucking ever.
Yes. They were always around. They
Yeah.
were around in the 30s, but they were
Yeah. They did okay.
They were hungry.
They did okay in the aughts and the early 2000s. They did all right, but they also didn't own those
No, they
characters.
didn't own
That was
anything.
not them. And then in these last 10 years, they went from obscurity to
owning the world.
powerhouse.
Yeah.
Black Panther is the highest grossing standalone superhero movie ever.
Yeah.
What?
That's insane.
Who even fucking knew who T'Challa was before Civil War?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane, and that's great, and I love that we live in that world, but, like, it's just such a bummer to see DC in the state that it's in.
The ones that we've wanted to see
Yeah.
from the very beginning have now been like, whatever.
Yeah. And
we
I
have
think-
Thor, we got Captain America, we got
Yeah.
Iron Man, we got all these motherfuckers over there that are 10 times better.
Yeah. And, and it's legit coming from us because we're not fanboys at all. I would argue, if anything, Dave, I feel like you tend to lean more DC than...
No, I've lent more Marvel in more recent.
I would say my personal favorite superhero is
Batman.
Batman and Spider-Man. They're my two favorites.
Mine is Batman and Captain America. Both are totally different.
Yeah.
Captain America is basically the Superman of the Marvel universe,
In the sense, yeah.
He's a
the
Boy
Boy
Scout,
Scout.
yes.
He's the do-gooder, yeah.
and they do it like he feels like that's
Yeah.
what Superman should have been. I like that because he has the perfect balance of dark. He knows what he has to do because he's a soldier.
Yeah.
He's
also willing to kill, though.
He's willing to kill, and that's who he is.
Yeah.
And like they made a big deal on like the Avengers, where it's like, oh, they brought up God or religion. It's like, of course, he's from the fucking 40s.
I don't even remember.
That's his culture. Like they had a controversy over that, and it's like,
Over what?
okay, I remember in the first Avengers where Thor just comes in. and he rips.
Oh yeah, there's
Loki
only
out of the plane.
one god.
Yeah,
and-
it's like Black Widow's like, Captain America, be careful because these guys are literally gods.
Yeah.
It's like there's only one god, ma'am, and he jumps off the
Yeah.
plane. It's like that's a perfect Captain America moment.
Yeah.
And it fits with him and his character and the way he was probably brought up, the time period.
Yeah.
It works.
He's a
Why
walking anachronism.
Why are we? Fuck all of you.
Yeah. And this is coming from a full-blown atheist. Like,
Yes.
it makes sense for the character.
Yeah,
It's
it
okay.
makes sense.
Not everyone needs to agree with your personal fucking beliefs.
Yeah.
Like,
Let the guy figure it.
let the fictional character have his own religion if it doesn't
Jesus.
exist.
Let the weird thing work as the weird thing that it is. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we end this? This dour, depressing,
This two-parter of
kind of sad. Like,
you know what? I think we'll pick it up one of these weeks. We're gonna sit down and we'll do the history of Marvel. It'll be significantly shorter,
oh, it will be
but
20 minutes.
it'll be 20 minutes. Yeah, it'll probably be a one part. But we can go into the cartoons and stuff because they really slowly built it up. I think from the cartoons and like establishing that and like the X-Men movies. We won't just focus on Marvel produced movies. We'll just anything that came out that had Marvel on it.
Yeah.
So Daredevil,
Oh boy.
and Elektra.
Yeah, we'll kind of get back
and
into
all
those.
things.
Um,
So, On the Rocks, your #1 Zack Snyder apologist podcast.
No, that's you. Don't include me in that. I'm not. No.
I just spent a long time shitting on a movie that his last
did.
movie, so I think we know I'm not an apologist.
put up a good front.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway,
So next week,
next week,
you want to announce what we're doing?
we probably be doing
Probably.
the guard. No, we're not going to be doing the guard.
It's gonna mirror real life.
We might do it down the line. It is a good movie. Check it out. But
Yeah.
we want to do childhood movies, watching them now after a very long time. If you want to talk about a few, I have three
I
in
was gonna
mind
say,
of my own.
How do you want to do the structure? Do you want to pick three? I pick three. Not tell each other and just like these are three movies that had.
Well, if you want to do it like this,
Okay.
I pick three,
Mm-hmm.
and you watch them.
Okay.
And then you pick three, and then I watch them. And we kind of go off of nostalgia glasses, where it's like,
Well, this is hard because one of my childhood movies was Starship Troopers.
oh God.
Okay, but
We had to-
we want them to favor kiddie.
Yeah,
movies.
like, well, maybe not even kid, but just like from the 12, maybe like the 6 to 12 range. Like something that you watched growing up. Like I can say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, I watched religiously growing up.
I was a big one on the first one.
Okay, so there you go. Something like
Spider-Man.
that. Where it's like you watch the second one and you tell me how fucking shitty and awful it is, and I just go off my nostalgic feelings of how I
so
remember
you
it.
don't rewatch it.
Yes.
You go off nostalgia.
you rewatch it.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is what we'll do. We'll each pick.
We
I
can
guess
pick 2 or 3, it depends.
we'll each pick one. We'll start
We'll
with
each
that.
pick one, okay.
So you pick one movie. I pick one movie.
Okay.
We'll announce it on the Facebook page, which ones we pick,
Yeah.
and this will be great. Maybe you give me 3 options. I'll give you 3 options.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh, I like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of On the Rocks, a conversational podcast about movies. As always, I am Paul Danino Braun.
And I'm Dave.
Have a good week, watch good films, fight fascism, and if you find Hitler, punch him in the face.
Later.